Welcome back here to Papua New Guinea. My name is Ryan, this is Brad. We're in Sino today, heading back on an hour flight back to Wewak. We're expecting a little bit more weather than what we are experiencing, but that's all right. All right, so yeah, we're out here in Sino, and we're expecting a little bit more weather. These are some screenshots of the weather that I checked before we came out here. We used the Windy app, not really much else there, but this is kind of the screenshot that I took before we left. Up in Wewak, came all the way out here to Sino, and it is 1 o'clock now, so let's go to 1 o'clock.
Moresby 65908, November Tango Echo Taxi.
Let him do this call first.
November Tango Echo, Moresby good.
November Tango Echo Taxi Sino, Wewak, 2 POB.
November Tango Echo, note for the traffic.
Sitting where we are on this runway, we're looking out straight out that way. That goes right into that, all that green and yellow.
All stations, Sino 126.7, Kodiak November Tango Echo is on the roll. Runway 15 for Wewak, Sino.
Looking down that way, and we've got, in theory, we're expecting rain on the way back. We didn't have it on the way out here, but it might get worse. We'll see if we have any weather on the way back.
I think if we had 30 knots by that bigger bush out in the front,
okay,
that'd be a good performance check. We can obviously stop after that, so probably where the bush gets closer out to the runway. So 30 knots by that point, or we'll abort, full reverse, max braking, flaps up, and if we're going off the edge, for whatever reason, cut off, pull off, turn off the Twinmaster. I lost after takeoff. We're gonna turn to the left, pitching for 85, attempting EPL. If that's unsuccessful, idle, feather, cut off, pull off, turn off, V2, car doors. Flaps are gonna be 85 and then 80, and we'll get our master off before touchdown.
All right.
Verified, fuel, harnesses are locked, checklist is complete. We got taxi with Moresby, and I made a area call.
All right, we're clear over here.
You're over here. 35 degrees, sea level, 1470 for 1520, rotating 55.
Right.
It's 1470, should get off first. Airspeed's alive, there's 30 knots.
To the left.
Okay.
There we go.
And left. And there's rotate.
And there's a dog.
Yeah. The nose come down for BY. Nice cockatoo over there.
Yeah, let's let it remain over there. I would have thought I'd hit one of those by now, but I haven't. Looking out that way, it doesn't look nearly as bad as when we were coming in, at least like all underneath. Like I don't really see much rain except for maybe over there a little bit. Nothing up here in these mountains yet, where that's what it was saying it was going to be the worst. And then maybe a little bit on the mountains over there, but again, really not that bad compared to what they were forecasting it to be. Let's just punch through all of this, just for the sake of doing it for experience-wise. Just don't really know what it's like until you do it a lot, and then you can kind of gauge on what you like to go through and what you don't like to go through. It does look like, put your nose over a little bit. It does look like some rain over there and a little bit right there, but really not that much though. We can take a lower altitude out of here, IMC, going through clouds, because we can see underneath and we can just go, okay, on this heading we know that we're good all the way up. But as you're coming down, we've got those mountains right over here. They're only like 3 or 4 miles away that are at the same level as us, 4 miles. So that's why we head out to Edwaki when we come back in, or when we come in. It just gives us a little more clearance from those mountains.
Okay. Where's we 65908, November Tango Echo departure?
November Tango Echo, mostly good.
November Tango Echo departed Sino time 04075, climbing 1000. Estimating Arkasame time 28.
November Tango Echo, note for the traffic.
November Tango Echo.
Alright guys, well this is a little bit of a longer flight, So I just muted Brad just so I can talk with you guys and just share a little bit about the G1000. I cover a lot about this in my Kodiak course online if you're a flight simmer. But I figured I'd just walk you through a couple of different items because I've had a lot of questions on where we get some of the information that I call out just when I'm talking. And one of them is just like my tailwinds. If I say, hey, I've got a 6-knot tailwind on landing, it's this little box right here. That's where I'm getting my winds. It's all done with like the G1000 computer, and it just calculates everything for you just on its track, and like it's all of its, I don't even know all the stupid parameters, but basically it does all the work for you so you don't have to actually think about anything. And then I got ground speed and true airspeed, and when we always climb up to, it's usually 11 or 12,000, that's when I'm like getting up to my indicated airspeed about 130 before I start pulling my power back. You can also go off your true airspeed. If you just bring your true airspeed up to about 160, that's going to give you the same. So whether you're at 18,000 feet or whether you're at 10,000 feet, if you bring up your true airspeed up to 160, your indicated airspeed is actually going to change at different altitudes. The higher you go, your indicated airspeed actually is going to be a lower airspeed than your true airspeed. We have over here, we've got our altitude tape. That's what these are called. We have 9,300 feet right now. We're going all the way up to 11,000. And then this number here on the side, that's our vertical speed. So we're climbing at 750 feet per minute. Down here is the HPA, that's the QNH, which is just your altimeter setting. We just use a different designation here in this country. It says both on ADC-1. Basically, I'm just running all my air data computer off of the same one Brad's using on his side so that my numbers match. So if I head over to ADC-2, sometimes when we are doing our final approach, my numbers might be off, my airspeed might be off like 2 knots. So what I'm seeing is different from what he's seeing, and I might be yelling at him to watch his airspeed, but in reality he has his right on. Up here we have QV to AV. That's just our next reporting point. We're going on to Wewak for the total flight of about 55 minutes. So the next reporting point is 48 miles, 21 more minutes to go, and then these are all of our frequencies up here. And these little magenta boxes are just basically what you're seeing here on this line right here. But once we get up there, it will all level off because he's got autopilot on, and that's what this little green bar right here. So we have autopilot, we have nav, GPS steer. The altitude is in white, and you'll see it'll turn green here in about 500 feet. And then the vertical speed he has right down here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Down here it says vertical speed 6. So basically what you're reading off here is the same thing as you're reading up here. Whenever you're flying, like instrument conditions, IMC, you're always wanting to verify. If you're on an instrument approach, you're always wanting to verify what you have up here is the same thing that you think you're going to get, so that it actually is going to level off at an altitude that you want it to. Chime was just let me know 200 feet yet to go up to 11,000. Definitely looks like the buildups have got probably twice as big as they have when we came out here. We got massive buildups here. We had a nice high overcast, but all that's burnt off, and now all the clouds are just exploding twice as fast, which is kind of what we were expecting. There we got that just turned green. The VS went away. Now that we're 11,000. And with that high overcast, after it just kind of dissipated, look how much these things have just blown up. Yeah. That's so wild how quickly those have grown.
Building quick.
So what, we're over most of them except for some of these closer ones.
Our estimated Wewak is right on schedule.
Oh, nice. At the end of the day? Yeah. Look at that, within 1 minute of our scheduled. That's awesome. Just looking out, this is about kind of actually what we were expecting coming back. Let's quickly look at this together, Brad, just so we have an idea of what we're coming against. This is our 2 o'clock coming back, and it has, our direct track goes right through that, which is about kind of what we're looking at right here. Okay. And it looks like it might potentially get worse that way, at least according to this. Oh. So after we get around this, if we don't want to go through it, we can look at it again. According to the forecast, our best option was to be head maybe 10 miles, 15 miles off to the right of track. Okay. And head down around here. Hayfield is where this says Moprik. doesn't say down here because it's not zoomed in enough. About a little bit past Tinbunkie, yeah, hayfield right here.
TOS not available.
According to this, it's going to stop. So I bet if we get a little bit further away, see how kind of the terrain goes? If we just get a little bit further out more into the Pacific, I'm guessing that it would probably clear up a little bit more so that we're not going through 30,000 plus foot buildups.
It's already looking a little bit better over to the right.
Oh yeah, look at that. Just as we're coming around this corner right here. Oh, it's actually looking a lot better.
Yeah.
There you go. Screenshot your weather so you have an idea what it was saying. Yeah, look at this, guys. As we're coming around this next cloud right here, it's already like, well, not clearing up awesome, but it's clearing up to at least gives us a little bit better of a path so we don't have to go through the brunt of it. My guess is we'll probably have to actually come out here to about where those lightning strikes are showing, is my guess on how far out this goes.
Okay.
It will probably add maybe, well, let's just see. We are going to get there at 52. Let's see how much it adds just with our diversion. And I bet it's only going to add maybe 2 or 3 minutes at most. Pretty wild though how quickly this is built up in 45 minutes maybe an hour since we came through here last. Probably an hour. Alright, well if we did want to shoot the approach getting in there, I don't know, we'll see what works the best for us today. Alright, that one starts way out here at these mountains. I think it's going to open back up a little bit.
It does seem like I'm seeing the ground over here.
I don't know if I see the ground over there. I see it potentially down there, but see, like, you've got the dark clouds ahead of us, and then you have light, like a lighter sky looking over there. So I'm guessing that we could go around it. At least that's kind of what I was kind of thinking, at least on what we saw on our weather app is what we were kind of guesstimating. Didn't really show anything down here, but I don't know.
Okay, so if we wanted to go alpha, we could tie in at Whiskey Delta as initial approach fix.
Yeah, so let me just, so you said it was alpha, right? And it was Whiskey Delta? What's our minimums?
Minimums 910 with actual, or forecast is 1010.
Alright, well we'll do 1010 because we don't have the actual. That way we can at least give an idea of where we might need to track if we need to track. It looks just like rain because see how the difference between these clouds here are like white, puffy, sharp edges, where then you go over here and it's just this big dark gray wall of just rain and stuff, but there's not as many like clouds until you get further on out. And then those ones are really dark and they're really high. So my guess is that right there is just rain. So let's go ahead and brief this approach as if we were to do it so that we're not being rushed when we get up there.
Okay. Me to brief it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we're going to be on 126.7 for area frequency. We'll contact Moresby on 659 or 8. Our final approach course is going to be 100, which is in direct line with the runway. Whiskey Foxtrot, which is our final approach fix, is going to be 1,800 feet. And then our MDA is going to be 1,010 feet. It's MDA, so we're stepped down, so we're not going to have vertical guidance. Moresby 65908, November Tango Echo, Arkasame, time 3-1. Maintaining 1,000, estimating Wewak, time 5-7.
Approaching Cessna to Wewak, colon 120.1 and monitor 126.7.
Approaching Wewak circuit, contact view on 120.1 or 126.7, November Tango Echo.
If we wanted to, we could go just direct there right now. It looks like it's going to be a VFR day once we get there, but we could still shoot it just for the sake of shooting it.
I think so. We'll go procedure, activate approach, I'll take us to Whiskey Delta. Alright, I didn't finish briefing this. Our missed approach is going to be track to direct Whiskey Hotel, which is straight out. We're going to track on 100 beyond that. I mean 3,100. And that would potentially get us set up to come back in the other direction, or we could be set up on this approach.
Okay. So another thing with these step downs is if you come down here and hit enter on these and turn them cyan, and it will, it should give you the little magenta boxes, should continue to give you your descent profile. But if you don't do that and you remain in white with the underline, then it just steps down, like the whole boxes just go chunk down,
okay.
as opposed to giving you a descent down to what the next one is.
Gives it more of a step down instead of more of a vertical guidance.
And once you get past the final approach, it won't give you it anymore. Like
okay.
they'll just, I think they even just go away. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the boxes just go away after your final approach fix, I think. It's been a while since I've done it.
And at that point, you could potentially, I was going to say put it in your OBS, but you wouldn't want to do that.
Because you're still flying directly on it anyway, so, I mean, it's not going to be any different because we're still on the 100 heading.
Yeah, cool.
He gave us our Pharaoh. I didn't have the cameras going, but there's a plane that just left, and he told us what the QNH was on the ground, 107. So, that gave us another 100 feet, but he also gave us one extra thing, which was temperature. So if we come down here and change the Pharaoh over to temperature,
cool.
We can put it down to 30 degrees is what he told us it was on the ground. And that gets us down to 865 feet.
Okay.
Oh, is that what that says? Yeah, 865. Oh, I mean, that just dropped us another 55 feet. So that was like 155 feet lower than if we don't have the temperature and QNH.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on the temperature. I didn't hear that.
These ones I don't think would be that bad. It's really the ones that go up to like the 30,000 feet that are the ones that just throw you around.
Okay.
Couple things I look for is I look forward to see if there's any rain coming out underneath of them, just to get an idea of what I'm expecting to come through.
23 is going to be our VA.
You don't necessarily have to slow all the way down to that, but just giving yourself a reference so you have an idea of what it actually is, in case you had to, if it was a lot more violent than what you were expecting it to be.
Okay.
It's nice that Wewak's at least nice. We don't have to fight that. You could go through this stuff all day long, but the way I look at it is I think of it like my fatigue levels throughout the day.
Yeah.
As for you viewers, just for reference, so we started work at 7, we took off at 8. We've had no breaks yet. It's about 2 o'clock now. And we could potentially be loading up. I don't think we're going to, but we could load up. Our flight tomorrow will be fueling now. So it's just go, 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 and just so we can kind of beat all the weather and stuff. But if we do choose to go through that kind of weather, we have to fly through it. Your body's just like continually trying to like readjust to like maintain like sitting up straight, and it's just fatiguing your body whether you think it is or not. And after you do that for a half hour, an hour, if you have a flight out there and you're coming back, and all those little things start adding up. And then it just also adds to your whole week. Like, you don't understand, man, like, why am I just so tired? Like, weather and stuff, and just thinking and planning out the full day. It's not just like flying, you're like planning every single aspect of flying. It's a lot of mental work. And that's just one thing that I can cut out of my mental workload to enjoy my job more.
November Tango Echo Mosby.
Moresby 126.7 November, go ahead.
November Tango Echo traffic additional is Sierra Alpha Bravo, Cessna float plane, departed Tinbunkie for Wewak, tracking 010, below 3000, estimate Wewak 0408.
Copy traffic for Wewak. November Tango Echo.
All right, now that we're entering into it, let's get our plane configured on how we're going to do our approach. I haven't done anything with you on the instrument, so I know Brent has, so I think you already know how to do all that.
11010.
Okay, do you know what you need to do to get to that number?
Settings on power?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay, push prop forward first. 10 degrees of flaps. In a descent, we're going to bring it to about 400 to 450, depending on what we actually need. So let's throw our autopilot on, so it's doing everything for us. And then if you need to, we can just bump the power a tiny bit. Because we are empty, I didn't think about that. Well, no, typically you need less power if you're empty, so. And then just bump the power a little bit, just so that we're at our 110. All right, so the next one is?
Whiskey India, 3250, or so, I was just at 3250.
We go down to 3250 here, and then we go all the way down to what next?
We go down
Whiskey
to
1800.
1800.
Okay.
Already starting the turn. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down.
All right.
1800. We've got the altitude capture where I have.
I think as you turn this, you're also going to have to probably adjust your power, because now we're going down faster.
It looks like we'll get down to 1800 by Whiskey Foxtrot.
Okay. We're always verifying our altitude select is on, so it is going to be leveling off 1800. You can see, because we hit those little cyan things, you can see our magenta boxes have given us a nice profile coming in. 18 knots direct tailwind. Whipping us along.
Okay, and again, the missed approach is straight ahead, Whiskey Hotel. Continue on 100, climbing 3,100. That's going to be our abort.
And then all of our boxes went away now that we're at our final approach fix.
Okay. We'll
Look at your speed though.
It's 65.
There we go. And this is where knowing what you're going to be pulling it back to, what gave you that from the get-go, you know exactly, I just need to pull it back to whatever that number was, and then there's no more guesstimating on what gave me the 110 knots. Okay, so we're at 500. We want to get there as early as possible, not when we get there. So because it's a non-precision approach, we want to come down at our maximum, our 1,000 feet per minute, so that we can get down out of the clouds. And so we have our best option to get in here, marginal VFR, and just do our thing to get in here, you know?
Yeah. 126.7, November Tango Echo is in the circuit, Wewak, cancel SAR.
November Tango Echo, Wewak SAR terminated.
Okay, he's on that one, 126.7.
November Tango Echo. Hey, there's 865.
Minimums.
Even if there was a lot of clouds, if there wasn't a lot of rain and stuff, that's why getting down as soon as possible so that you have time to do what you need to do. The last thing when you are dealing with weather is you don't want to have to be rushed, because then you're going to make really poor decisions and they're just going to like snowball like really fast. We get another chance of doing a crosswind landing today.
Right on.
Did you do any area calls?
I don't think so.
We have this here, our Alpha Bravo coming in.
Consider that. All stations, Wewak 126.7, Kodiak November Tango Echo is right downwind runway 28. All stations, Wewak.
With this much wind, 16 to 20 knots, expect
Minimums.
wind shear
Okay.
over top of the golf course. Don't fight it, just let it just throw you all around, but just expect it.
Hey, because of the wind shear, I'll add 4 knots on my final approach. So from 62 to 66. A little bit high, but we've got that strong headwind. 16 knot crosswind, 15 knot headwind.
500.
600 foot per minute descent.
Well, guys, thank you for watching Brad and I. Yeah, on a typical day of working weather here, at least in the rainy season. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like I was saying earlier, if you're a flight simmer, you want to, learn how to fly the Kodiak and learn a little bit more about G1000 specifically and all of the operations that we do. The Kodiak course out below, and my Patreon page has a ton of these flights, same one that we just did today, that you can also follow along with as well. So thanks again, guys, and see you guys next time.